This art store is called Albutegon. On the first look, everything about it seems normal. In this video, I was in Bassano del Grappa, a little cute town in northern Italy. This place is filled with so much history and personality. This is where I discovered a quite unusual art store that I really wanted to share with you. After the art store, I will also go to a stationery store that is quite different from all the other cute and modern ones that I've seen. So I hope that you will enjoy this little exploration. See you in the video. So this art store is called Albutegon, and on the first glance, you wouldn't wonder what could be weird about this place. There are normal art supplies like watercolor, pastels, easels, painting paper. So let's just go inside the store and see why I go around saying that this store is so unusual. You probably noticed that this store sells both household products and art supplies all together in what looks like a mid-century-old family house. There's a lot of home items mixed with artistic items like the painting palettes here, the pigment, the painting tube, oil painting. The interior is separated into two blurry sections, with the left side selling mostly art supplies and the right side selling mostly home and dry goods. In the art supply section, even though it's small, there are many supplies from well-known brands like Le Bourgeois. They range from color pencils, acrylic, pastels, painting paper. Yeah, you can really find a lot of things here. And as you can see, some shelves are not so strictly dedicated to art, so it's a bit of an adventure to go through the things here. For example, there are shoe trees displayed together with stain remover in front of the Bourgeois paper. Then there's this Arche watercolor paper with toilet paper. That's a very logical grouping. I remember that I loved rummaging through all the painting tubes to find vintage looking ones like this one here, which somehow made its way to 2023. Every corner of the store feels so warm and cozy. There's a human touch spread here and there, like on the pigment jars that seem to have been labeled by hand. Some jars actually even look like jam jars because of the Vichy pattern lid. Now I'm looking for some medium-sized flat brush, and they have a lot of choices here. In the household section, you will find basic things like cleaning detergent, shoe care products, soap and body care, candles. There is even tiger balm in case my fingers get cramps from going through all the painting tubes. Or a back scratcher to help scratch my back because my hands are too busy going through the brushes. I'm so in love with the candy packaging here. They look totally cute and super retro. I found a lot of vintage looking packaging over here that seem actually authentic. And this is also when I learned that licorice is a well-loved product in Bassano del Grappa. I have two favorite things from this side of the shop. First, these long scrubbing brushes that perfectly highlight the high ceiling of the store while directing our eyes to the second floor. Second, this wooden multi-drawer cabinet. It makes me just want to go through each one of them for a treasure hunt. This is not just a local convenience store with a little section dedicated to school supplies. When the store was first founded in the 1920s, it was a dry goods store actually. Back then, pre-made detergent and cleaning products were not so common, so people would purchase raw chemicals to create their own DIY detergents. And from what I understood, ceramic painting was a common household activity back then, so people would buy pigments to mix their own painting as well. Then, when ready-made detergents became more and more popular, ready-made painting got popular as well. This increased the demand for art supplies, and Albodegon naturally began selling these supplies alongside the dry goods until today to cater to the demand.
Grazie a lei. Prego.
Grazie, arrivederci.
I'm done with Albodegon. I bought a few things here, including some brushes and a roll of tape. The next store we're going to is a bookstore. Now, it's not a design or an art store, but I promise you it's probably one of the most beautiful bookstores you'll ever seen. At least it's one of my favorites ever in the world. I'm now at the bookstore that I really wanted to show you too. This is Libreria Roberti, a bookstore that used to be a palazzo of the Roberti family, who has hosted Napoleon during the critical war period in the region. This place is like the perfect dream for book lovers. It's cozy, it has narrow corridors, it's classic, it's warm, and it has a really beautiful book selection. I'm not going to bore you with too much history, so let's just soak in the vibe for a few seconds and then I'll move on to the last store of the day. The last store we're going to today is a former printmaker, and today it is a stationery store that looks very vintage and super classic. I think I am not alone when I say that I could spend an entire day in a stationery store, especially one like this one. The store sells different types of stationery and greeting cards with mostly classic looking floral and animals pattern. What made me want to show you this store is the fact that most of the designs you see here are from mid-17th and 18th centuries and were created by the Rimondini family. As a floral pattern obsessed person, I was literally flower drunk. This store is such a big source of inspiration for people like myself who love both stationery and pattern design. My favorite design from the entire shop is probably this illustration of Il gatto domestico, which means the domestic cat. The second floor of the shop is a gallery and exhibition space with a little balcony that overlooks the famous iconic Red Bridge of the city. This is where you will have an overview of some of the historical designs from the Rimondini family. The pattern that you see here is that one here. All of the historic patterns that are on the wall can be got here. And look what we have here, some more multi-drawer cabinet. More treasure hunt for everyone.